Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to go over my review of Survivor Series 1991. Starting off the evening with our first match of the night, it is Ric Flair, Ted DiBiase, Warlord, and the Mountie versus Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, Virgil, and the British Bulldog. The match itself was a good matchup, back and forth matchup between both teams. Flair ends up pinning Davey Boy Smith. Davey Boy Smith is now eliminated from this matchup. Hart then hits an axe handle on the Warlord. Warlord is now eliminated from this matchup. Ted DiBiase, the Mountie, Piper, Hart, and Virgil all get eliminated in this matchup. And your winner of the match is Ric Flair. A couple things I'll say about this matchup is, number one, the teams that were involved in this matchup, phenomenal teams, man. I mean, you got Ric Flair, Ted DiBiase, Warlord, and the Mountie. Phenomenal team in itself. And you got Roddy Piper, Bret Hart, the British Bulldog. I mean, the teams alone in this matchup were absolutely great, man. And it was a great opening matchup for Survivor Series 1991. But hats off to Ric Flair for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter, Texas Tornado, and Tito Santana versus Skinner, Colonel Mustafa, Hercules, and the Berserker. The match itself was a good matchup, back and forth matchup between both teams. Sergeant Slaughter hits a devastating clothesline on Colonel Mustafa. Colonel Mustafa is now eliminated from this matchup. Tito Santana then hits a devastating flying forearm on Hercules. Hercules is now eliminated from this matchup as well. Sergeant Slaughter ends up hitting a roll-up on Skinner. Skinner is now eliminated from this matchup as well. Jim Duggan then hits a devastating clothesline on the Berserker. Pins him for the 3, and your winner of the match is Jim Duggan. Again, hats off to Jim Duggan and his team for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is Hulk Hogan versus The Undertaker for the WWE Championship. The match itself, I thought, was a great matchup. Back and forth matchup between both Hogan and The Undertaker, with Undertaker keeping the pace of the match. Flair ends up showing up down to the ring. Undertaker then hits a devastating tombstone piledriver on a chair on Hulk Hogan, pinning him for the 3, and your winner of the match. And at that time, the new WWE Champion is The Undertaker. A couple of things I'll take away from this match is, number one, this match was great. To see Hulk Hogan versus Undertaker, man, phenomenal matchup. And believe it or not, I think in this match, Hulk Hogan seriously got injured in this matchup. When Undertaker hit that tombstone, Flair ended up putting a chair into the ring. Taker hit the tombstone on Hogan, and Hogan's back of his neck ended up hitting this chair. And pretty much it injured Hogan pretty bad in this matchup, to a point where I think Hogan was off the scene for a little while. And I don't think, from what I understand, I don't think his body fully recovered from that tombstone that Taker hit on him in that Survivor Series matchup. So, again, brutal stuff, man. But hats off to The Undertaker for getting the win in this matchup, and at that time becoming the new WWE Champion. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is the Nasty Boys and the Beverly Brothers versus the Rockers and the Bushwhackers. I thought it was a good matchup, back and forth matchup between both teams. Brian Knobbs hits a clothesline on Luke. Luke is eliminated from this matchup. The Beverly Brothers hit the finish on Butch. Butch is now eliminated from this match as well. Shawn ends up hitting a roll-up, pins for the 3, and Bo is now eliminated from this matchup. Marty then goes to hit a scoop slam on Jerry, but Jerry's shoe hits Shawn Michaels. Brian Knobbs hits a roll-up on Shawn, pins him for the 3. Shawn is now eliminated from this match as well. Jerry then hits a roll-up on Marty Jannetty, pinning him for the 3, and your winner of the match is Jerry Sags. Hats off to Jerry Sags and his team for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is the main event of Survivor Series 1991. It is Legion of Doom and Boss Man versus the Natural Disaster and IRS. First and foremost, man, this match was a really good matchup, back and forth matchup between both teams. Erwin R. Shyster hits Boss Man with a briefcase. Boss Man is now eliminated from this matchup. Erwin then hits Typhoon with the briefcase as well. Typhoon is eliminated as well. Earthquake is eliminated from this match. Also, the Legion of Doom then hit the finish, and your winners of the match is the Legion of Doom. A couple things I'll say about this matchup too was it was a good main event for Survivor Series 1991. The teams that were involved in this matchup, phenomenal teams, man. The Legion of Doom, I've stated this multiple times, probably if not the best tag team of all time, Hawk and Animal. Then you had the Natural Disasters with Earthquake and Typhoon. To me, one of those tag teams in professional wrestling that will always be underrated. I mean, Earthquake and Typhoon, man, the Natural Disasters, phenomenal tag team. And again, the Nasty Boys as well, man. Brian Knobbs, Jerry Sags of the Nasty Boys, phenomenal tag team. You know, one of the best tag teams out there of all time, hands down, in my honest opinion. Bossman, absolute legend. IRS, again, you know, Money Incorporated, you know, Erwin R. Shyster working with Ted DiBiase, another phenomenal tag team. But this main event was awesome, man. As far as Survivor Series 1991, I always give these pay-per-views a rating from 1 out of 10. I'm going to give Survivor Series 1991, I'm going to give it a solid 7, man. I think it was a really good Survivor Series. I'm not going to sit here and say it was the worst, but it definitely was not the best Survivor Series I've ever seen. A couple matches on here that I really liked. Obviously, the main event was really good. But to me, the main event should have been Hogan versus Undertaker for the WWE Championship. And I've stated this multiple times in the past, man. When you have a pay-per-view, you know, you want the main event to showcase your world championship. Every single pay-per-view, I don't care what pay-per-view it is, it needs to be the main event to highlight your world championship. Now, I'm not taking anything away from the main event of Survivor Series 1991, but Hogan versus Taker should have been the main event of Survivor Series 1991 because it was for the WWE Championship. And the storyline enough leading up to this match was just, I mean, perfect, man. Absolutely perfect. But I'm going to have to give Survivor Series 1991 a solid 7 at best. But this is my review of Survivor Series 1991. I hope you guys are out there staying safe. Be careful, and remember, stay classic. Peace.